In this video, I'm going to cover some grammar, 语法, from 第7课对话1, Lesson 7, Dialogue 1. Grammar 1 has a title of descriptive complement. The descriptive complement is a verb complement that gives additional description on the action of the verb. We've learned other complements before, such as the directional complement, 来 or 去. The directional complement gives direction to the verb, and similarly, a descriptive complement gives additional description of the action in the verb. But in order to use the descriptive complement, you must use this particle 的. And the format is this: verb 的 descriptive complement. The descriptive complement can be an adjective or adverb or a verb phrase. But to make it simple, in this video, I am going to just replace the descriptive complement with adjective or a modifier plus adjective. So here is the format: verb plus 的 plus a modifier which may be dropped plus adjective. Here are some examples. 考得很好. 考 is the verb, it means to test. 很好, modifier and adjective. It means to test very well or to do well on a test. 吃得很快. 吃 to eat, 很快 very fast, to eat very quickly or very fast. 睡 to sleep, 不晚 not late. To sleep not very late, to go to sleep not late. 打得不错. 打 has many different meanings. If you're talking about 打球, then playing ball, 打得不错, 不错 not bad, plays pretty well, not bad. Now I mentioned that this modifier may be optional. If you're making a comparison between two things, then the modifier should be dropped and it becomes verb plus 的 plus adjective. Let's look at this question. 姐姐考得好还是哥哥考得好? Did sister do better on the test or did brother do better on the test? And look at answer 1. Answer 1 is 姐姐考得好. It's making a comparison. It's saying older sister did better on the test. Of course, it's in comparison to 哥哥, right? And so there is no modifier here. Now let's look at the answer 2, which says 姐姐考得很好. 哥哥也考得很好. The modifiers are included because this isn't a comparison really anymore. The person is simply describing that older sister did well on the test and older brother also did well on the test, and not necessarily making a comparison. It's more like stating the fact, right, that both of them did well. So if you're making a comparison, drop the modifier. If you're describing a situation, keep the modifier. Let's take a look at this adjective 不错. As you recall, 不错 means pretty good, and it can also mean not bad. So with 不错, you can drop the modifier because the word itself already includes a modifier. That said, 不错 itself is an adjective, so you can add an additional modifier if you want. If I say 打得很不错, it means the person plays quite well. In this example, the context is probably already known by the participants of this dialogue. They know that 姐姐 and 哥哥 had an exam in something. If you don't know the context, you have to give the context. And this is how you do it. To give a context, you need to have the subject, verb, and object. So you need to describe the whole action. And then you repeat the verb and add the 的 plus modifier and adjective. So let's take a look. In this case, 她考试, she takes an exam. Subject, verb, object of the verb. 她考试. How did she do? 考得很好. 她考试考得很好. She did very well on her test. 你吃饭, you eat a meal, eat food, 吃得很快. You eat very fast. 我睡觉睡得不晚. I don't go to bed very late. 弟弟打球打得不错. Younger brother plays ball. Well, what about his playing ball? 打得不错. He plays pretty well. Let's take a look at how to ask some question using 的. So you keep everything the same before the 的. But after the 的, you can ask 怎么样? Adjective 吗? Or adjective 不 adjective? Let's take a look. Question 1. 你考试考得怎么样? How did you do on your test? Answer. 我考得很好. Question 2. 高小英唱歌唱得好吗? Does 高小英 sing well? Or you can use 好不好. 好吗 and 好不好 are the same. And the answer, 她唱得不好. She does not sing well. Now let's look at 太, 真, and 很, which are adverbs or modifiers that are discussed in grammar point number 2. 太 and 真 are usually exclamatory, and 很 is more often very factual. So 太 and 真 express the speaker's opinion that something is worthy to be excited about. So let's look at some examples. 她写字写得很漂亮. She writes characters very beautifully. Very factual, right? Versus 她写字写得真漂亮. She writes characters so beautifully or really beautifully. Let's look at the second example. 你吃饭吃得很慢. You eat very slowly. 你吃饭吃得太慢了. You eat too slowly. Example 3. 这支笔太贵了. 我不要. This pen is too expensive. I don't want it. That's it for grammar points 1 and 2. I hope you found it helpful. 希望对你有帮助。再见。